What is up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. This channel is pretty much for like my personal business, my personal car stuff, just stuff around the shop, which I'll get that into that stuff later. But today I kind of want to just go over what my main purpose of making this video was. I'm gonna start trying to do like kind of daily vlogs whenever I work in the shop on the car and stuff. And today I'm building a drift car, an E36 BMW drift car, piecing it piece by piece together. Today I'm gonna be putting in the welded diff. I just took out welded and everything, so that's gonna be going back in today, along with Condor bushings, which the whole car will be getting Condor bushings eventually, but right now I'm starting with the diff because that's what's out. And then over the winter I have some big plans for a motor swap. Hope to put an LS in it, and that's gonna be over the winter time. I'm just trying to get this car done and get out to the track hopefully soon. Just have a few things to button up, just like some more bushings. I gotta put the hydro in, and then I should be able to get out to the track and at least have some fun and start getting into drifting. I'm very excited about it. So I'm gonna get the car jacked up, get everything set up to get the diff back in the car. I'm gonna put the bushings in. I'll probably try to film a little bit of that. I'm filming on my iPhone because I left my camera at home, of course. So just stay tuned, and I'll kind of take you guys along throughout the day and what I'm doing here. All right, guys, so we're just checking back in. I got the car jacked up and everything. I was messing with the axle because I got a bad CV boot, but I think I'm just gonna put the diff in the car for now, and then I'm gonna end up just getting a whole new axle this way anyway. If I might as well have one spare one, and then I'll just rebuild this. I just gotta put a new boot on, but it'll be so much simpler when the axle's out of the car. So I'll just order a new axle, and in the meantime, just put it back together as the way it is. It has a little bit of a leak, but it'll be okay for now. So right now, I'm just getting the bushings mounted up inside the differential, which is pretty simple. These are the Condor, let's drop the piece. These are the Condor Speed Shop bushings. They're literally like such a good brand. Everybody swears by these things. These I'm just doing right now, the differential ones, these guys here. And then also this one here, which I'll show you where that goes under the car. That one goes right up in there. So I gotta press that one out yet. But these are pretty simple to put in. You can buy tools and stuff. I have a bushing installer and removal tool, but these ones go in super easy. Literally, you just take it here, mount it up. The one side has a lip, and you just kind of hit them in from the top. I just used a rag, like a glove, and then just a little bit of a sledgehammer. And then with a few taps, they go right in. You'll see they're nice and flush. Like I said, they do have tools to do this, but this works just fine. So I'm gonna finish getting these in, and then after that, we're gonna try to press out that one in the car, which is probably gonna be the hardest one to do, but we'll get done. So we'll be back. So those are all done. Literally, like I said, you just tap them in, and that's pretty much that simple. Simple as that. So now the real trick is gonna be getting that one out of the car. I'll probably use my tool to try to press this thing out. This thing looks like a nightmare, to be honest, but it's actually pretty accessible. So just maybe with the tool, I should be able to have, like I said, I have the press kit that goes around, and it should press this thing right out, clean it up a little bit on the inside, and then put the new one in. So we'll be back after that. All right, so the bushing are done. They're all in. The one underneath was a pain to get out and to get in. It's just like a really weird spot, but you can see it's in there. It wasn't easy. I ended up, the tool I had didn't have a small enough, like normally you would take a ring like this and stick it on the outer portion of the bushing, and you know, you come to the nice like little C-clamp type tool and you press it out. But unfortunately, I didn't have a small enough one of these for that bearing. So what I had to do was I had to heat the bearing, the bushing up, and kind of you got to get it like really hot, like get it flaming. And then if you take a chisel and just work it, hit it, the metal will eventually give, and it'll just pop straight out one piece, just like this. It was a pain, but I got it out. So next I'm gonna fill the diff. All the bushings are done, and just fill the diff, and then I'm just gonna get that mounted up in the car, fill it up with gear oil, and we'll get back in once we start getting this all mounted up. So another thing I'm doing too, why it's all apart, I ordered a new gasket for the rear cover, just cause the other one was sloppy and all beat up. It's the original one probably from this thing. So we're gonna put a new one of those on there. And also I'll show you guys the weld, what you're kind of welding if you've never seen it before. if you're probably this far into the, you know, looking at how to do this stuff, you can look here. You're just tacking all these corners of all these gears together here. Tack them up real good, all connected. Make sure they're all connected. And then same thing on the other side. You can rotate it, and you'll see the same thing on this side. There really is no pretty way of doing this. You're just literally connecting the gears together so they all spin together. Make sure when you're done, you're gonna get slag and shit from the welder that's gonna fall down inside. There's really no way around it. You're gonna wanna just make sure you can get that thing to spin by hand, take a wire brush, clean out all the gears, like all the teeth. Make sure there's no metal or anything inside of here, because it will cause it to bind. Then you'll be like, why the hell isn't it spinning? And it's better to find it out when it's outside the car rather than put it all back together and have to take it all back out again. So just make sure you can spin it all by hand. If it's tight at first, use a little bit of a pry tool and spin it. But after that, it should get pretty free. And if it's still not free, another thing you can try, if you have it sitting for a while, the bearings can get dry in here that go out to the axles. And if you just take like a oil gun and squirt some oil down in here and work it around, you'll have to work it for a little bit and it will eventually be able to spin by hand. So make sure it spins by hand before you put it back in the car, because that would suck. Like I said, if you put it back in and it's not free for whatever reason, whether there's slag that fell down in there, something went wrong when you're welding it, just a good thing to know. Make sure it does spin by hand before you put it back in. All right, so the next step now is get the diff in the car. So I got grease all over my face and stuff, but it is what it is. Next step is get the diff in the car. I'm by myself, so the best way to do that is take a jack. You're gonna run it underneath to where it needs to be, get it jacked up, and then from there, you kind of just gotta wiggle it in until it falls into place. It helps when you have two hands, I will say that, but I don't have anybody here right now, so I'm gonna be trying to do this by myself. So here goes now, guys, where I'm at. This took me about like 3 minutes to get to this point. It's not hard, but with two people, it'd be so much easier, but you kind of just work it in. Here's the diff up in where it needs to be. It's still not all the way in. I gotta slide it just about. Literally, I just gotta push it forward and it will still be in. It'll be in where it needs to be. And you just kind of gotta, you'll come in, you'll lift it up, catch the front end of like the bell housing up, the housing up here, inside of here. And then it'll still wanna fall out. So take the jack, hold it with one hand, and then take the jack, slide it in, jack it up again to where it's at now. And then from here, we'll just wiggle it on in. And then, yeah, hopefully, I think I'm gonna have to try to line the drive shaft up as well at the same time. So that should be a neat trick. But once I get it all in, I'll show you guys how everything went. All right, guys, well, after a lot of work, a lot of solo work, it'd be a lot easier with somebody else, but I don't have anybody else right now with me. So after a lot of work, the diff is back in the car. Everything's bolted back up, exhaust, all the bolts, everything. It looks like before, but just the new Condor bushings is really the only thing different. You can see the new drive shaft, the axle bolts, the new bushings up here, over here, and of course up in the front as well. Sway bar bolts. It's not that many things. It just takes a while, especially when you're doing it by yourself. But that's pretty much it. It's kind of simple to do. It's not like too difficult. But that's pretty much it. Now just pretty much take it on the ground and go see if this thing slides. And that's about it. I'll finish up this video in a little bit and give you guys more of a description of like what I intend to do on this channel, use this channel for. So I'll get back to you guys soon. That pretty much wraps the job up. I just took it for a spin. It's good. So diff's all welded, everything's done and installed. The next few weeks, I'm gonna be ordering a set of BC coilovers with custom spring rates and stuff. That's gonna be this week, so probably within the next like 2 to 3 weeks, I'll get those in. Those will go in. And then I'm probably just gonna do the hydro for now. And then following that, I'm gonna do the SLR full front end, control arms, lollipops, all that stuff up in the front. And that'll be probably within the next few weeks. I'm gonna get all that stuff ordered. But next will be the coilovers, and then we'll go from there. And I'll keep documenting the build and stuff. But it's all away now for the night. Got some shift knob stuff I gotta put in. That'll probably be this week and things like that. So that's pretty much it. But this channel is gonna be used for stuff like this, about like personal car stuff. And then also I'm trying to grow small business. I started Precision Air Ride Before I got into the drifting stuff, which I'm just as the first ever drift car I'm building, I did all like, you know, stance stuff, and I had a GLI and installed air ride on that when I was young in high school. And then, you know, I started doing little jobs here and there for friends and people I knew, and it's something I always wanted to take a little more serious. So I got a little shop now, and just trying to take it more serious and hopefully grow and get more jobs. So that's another thing. If you're in the, you know, New Jersey area, I install air ride, so you can hit me up through here, or I'll post on my social medias and stuff in the description, and hopefully we can get connected and maybe work with a few of you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy this little vlog. Next time I'm gonna use my camera. This is just on the iPhone, and hopefully it'll get better from here. So thank you guys. Once again, like and subscribe the video if you could. Take care.